3 lives were lost in Singapore waters this morning after a supply boat sank following a collision with a landing craft near Pasir Panjang Terminal. At first glance, this may seem like a straightforward maritime accident, but the incident raises bigger questions about safety in one of the busiest port regions in the world. The collision happened at about 9:30 a.m. off Pasir Panjang Terminal. According to the Maritime and Port Authority, a supply boat and a landing craft collided in the area. Emergency response teams moved quickly. A craft from the Maritime and Port Authority, the Police Coast Guard, and the SCDF Marine Division were activated immediately. Search and rescue operations began soon after. Divers were also deployed as part of the effort. As rescuers searched the waters, a tragic discovery followed. 3 bodies were recovered from the sea by the Police Coast Guard. Authorities believe the deceased were crew members from the sunken supply boat. At the time of this report, search operations are still ongoing to determine whether additional crew members may be missing. What makes this incident particularly significant is where it happened. Singapore handles one of the world's busiest shipping routes. Every day, commercial vessels, harbor craft, supply boats, tugboats, and various support vessels operate in a highly coordinated environment. Most people see the giant container ships entering and leaving port. What often goes unnoticed are the smaller vessels working behind the scenes. Supply boats play an important role in supporting maritime operations, transporting personnel, equipment, and essential supplies between locations. When incidents involve these vessels, the human cost can be severe because crews often work in challenging conditions close to active shipping traffic. The good news is that the landing craft involved remained stable after the collision. No injuries were reported among the crew members on board that vessel. Port operations were also not affected. That means cargo movements and terminal activities continued despite the emergency response. Here is where the deeper question begins. Modern ports rely heavily on safety systems, navigation procedures, communication protocols, and vessel traffic management. Yet, even in highly regulated environments, accidents can still occur. Investigators will likely be looking closely at factors such as vessel movements, communication between crews, weather conditions, visibility, and operational procedures before determining exactly what happened. For the public, incidents like this serve as a reminder that maritime work remains one of the less visible but essential parts of the economy. Many goods arriving in Singapore pass through these waters before reaching businesses and consumers. Behind that system are thousands of maritime workers carrying out jobs that most people never see. This is also not the first maritime incident to attract attention in recent years. Around the world, authorities continue to study vessel collisions because even a single mistake can have serious consequences when people are working at sea. The challenge is not simply responding to accidents after they happen. The bigger challenge is identifying risks early enough to prevent them altogether. As investigations continue, the focus will remain on understanding what led to the collision and whether any lessons can be learned to improve maritime safety. 3 families are now facing a painful loss. At the same time, an entire industry will be watching closely for answers. Do you think current maritime safety measures are sufficient in busy port areas, or should there be additional safeguards to reduce the risk of similar incidents? Like, share, and subscribe to 2230.